Let me record it again. Okay. So we'll discuss about the system databases, guys. So how many system databases are there? What each system database will do? Where we can see the system databases. Okay, so everything will be discussed, guys. So generally, when you expand the databases, you can see two folders: system database, database snapshots, and your user databases will start. If you expand system databases, you can see four system system databases. First one is master, second one is model, third one is MSDB, fourth one is your tempdb. These are the four system databases that you can see in the management studio. Actually, five system databases are there in SQL Server. Interview question: how many system databases are there in SQL Server? Five system databases are there in SQL Server. Okay, what are those five system databases, guys? First one is master, second one is model. Any questions? Someone unmuted. TempDB, and fifth is your
Resource DB.
SSDB.
Resource DB.
Resource DB. Very good. Okay, Resource DB. Resource DB, guys. Okay. So let's discuss about one by one, guys. What master will do? Master is one of the core system database. Master is one of the core system database, very important system database. Without master, there is no SQL server. Without master, there is no SQL server. 1 minute, please. 1 minute. Hello? Hello? Right, okay. So it's one of the core system database. It's very important system database, guys. Okay, it's very important system database. Without master, there is no SQL server. Without master, there is no SQL server. All the SQL server related, okay, SQL server related binary information, okay, binary information, and SQL server metadata, okay, SQL server metadata, SQL server configuration related information will be stored in the master database, and all the logins information, whatever logins you can see, the logins, okay, the logins and their passwords information also will be stored in the master database. All the logins and the passwords information also will be stored in the master database. Other database data files and log files, for example, Amazon data file, in which location it was stored, okay, Flipkart data file, in which location it was stored, Amazon log file, in which database it was stored, in which location it was stored. Other databases paths also will be stored in the master database. Master is very crucial. Without master, there is no SQL server. If master database is corrupted, SQL server won't start. SQL server will store its metadata information, configurations related information, logins related information, passwords related information. Okay. Passwords related information and other databases files related information the paths of other databases and also everything related to other database metadata also will be stored in the master database. If there is no master, there is no SQL server. Very crucial database, guys. Okay, any questions about the master database?
Sir, what is the meaning of the configuration level information?
Configuration means, for example, every servers will have settings, right? Okay, if you go to the properties, okay, now you can see server name, version, edition of the server, okay, on which machine it was installed, what is the RAM, okay, root directory where it was stored, what is the language settings, and if you go to this memory, what is minimum memory value, max server memory value, okay, other values you can see, right? And if you go to processors, you can see some IO affinity mask, okay, processor affinity mask you can see. And if you go to security, you can see some of the settings, connections, database, advanced. These are all configurations only. Okay, all this configuration related information will be stored in the master database.
Okay, clear, sir. Thank you.
Okay. That is your master database, guys. Okay, very simple. They'll ask you, tell me about system databases, and also you can tell all these points. These are the important points of master database. If master is corrupted, SQL server won't start. That's for sure. Okay, if master is corrupted, SQL server won't start. How to fix and all in future we'll discuss, guys. Nothing to worry now. Model database. What model will do? So let me create. What is the name of the model, guys? Model, role model means we'll try to imitate them. We'll try to imitate our role model. Okay, we'll try to inherit the properties of our role model. Right? So in the same way, if I am creating new database, if I'm creating the new database, I can create new database very simply. Like I can just give the name of the database. That's it. Oyo rooms. I can just give the names. But I am not giving the size of the file, data file size. I am not giving the log file size. I am not giving auto growth values. I am not giving in which path it has to store. I am not enabling any of these options. I am not setting any of these options. From where we are getting all these things? Some of them are true, some of them are false, some of them are on, some of them are off. From where we are getting all these options? From where it is getting the path? From where it is getting the sizes? From where, guys? If you click OK, simply by giving the database name, automatically you can create the database. But who is giving these values? Size of the file, location of the file, okay, settings of the database. Who is giving those values? Your model database. So model will act as a template for newly created databases. Model will act as a template. So when you are driving, if you are getting a call, you can see either you can lift the call, you can reject the call, or else you can send a template message. I am in driving, call you later. I am in meeting, call you later. The template text will be there. Simply if you select, automatically it will be sent to the recipient, caller. That is a template text. No need to type the text. In the same way, a template database will be there. That template database is your model database. So when you are creating a new database, the new database always follows model database structure. If you don't believe me, let me go to the properties. Let me minimize this. Let me create a new database, new, something like what is that? Akasha Airs. Akasha Air. Okay. Akasha Air. So now if you see here, the size of the data file is 8 MB, log file size is 8 MB, 64 MB, 64 MB. Okay, and this is the path. Chalo. Remember these values. Okay, I am going to minimize. Now what I'll do, right click, properties. Okay, right. Now files. What I'll do, I'll change this 8 MB to 81 MB. I'll change this 8 MB to 79 MB. Just wanted I'm changing, guys. Okay, and I'll change the auto growth values from in megabytes to 10 percentage. Okay, I'm going to change the values only for data file. Log file I'm not changing, just to show you the difference. Okay, see, just I changed data file size, log file size, data file auto growth I changed. Okay, click OK. Done. Now let's create a new database. Earlier, if you see this window, for Akasha Air, the size is 8 MB, 8 MB, 64 MB, 64 MB. But after changing model database properties, when I am trying to create a new database, the new database size is 81 MB, 79 MB, 10% auto growth. Remaining is as it is. Whatever changes that you can see on the newly created database. So, model will act as a template for the newly created database. This is the functionality of the model. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Very simple, okay? Very simple. Model will act as a template for the newly created databases. Whatever values you are getting, so those values you will get it from the model database only. Okay? Right, let me cancel this one. Let me change this to old values file 8 MB 8 MB. So last time one of our student got one question, guys. Okay.
The 10% is
Yes.
and I thought you forgot to change the 10%.
Yeah. Okay. So last time one of our student got one question. So he asked, whatever new databases I am creating, for all the new databases, the size of the data file will be 1 GB. By default, it should be 1 GB. And the file has to be stored in the D drive. The data file has to be stored in the D drive. How you will achieve this? How you will achieve this, guys? He is asking, whatever database, new databases you are creating, the data file size should be by default 1 GB. And the new data file has to be stored in the some other drive, some X drive, or else whatever new databases you are creating, automatically it has to get one extra file. Okay, automatically it has to get one extra file. Whatever databases you are, generally you will get data file and log file. He is asking whatever new databases you are creating, automatically it has to get 2 data files and 1 log file. How you will achieve this? How we can achieve this, guys? How we can achieve that? Can anyone tell me?
By setting the things in model.
That's it. That's it. Whatever changes you want, simply change it to model database and click OK. After changes, if you create a new database, whatever model changes are there, those changes will be applied to the newly created database. So if you add one more data file and if you change the model database data file size to 1 GB, so whenever you are creating a new database, by default you will get 2 data files and the data file size will be 1024 MB, which is 1 GB. And the files, whatever path you selected in that path, automatically the files will be stored, guys. So this is the answer. So if you change the model database properties as per your changes, then the newly created databases will take that changes from the model database. Now I have a quick question for all of you. If my model is corrupted, can I start the SQL server or not? If model is corrupted, can I start the SQL server or not?
SQL server
Yes, you
can be
should.
started.
You should be able to start.
Yes.
Yes, right. But I cannot create new databases, right? That's it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So we'll tell you the answer at the end of the class. Okay. Right. MSDB is responsible for the automation, guys. MSDB is responsible for automation like jobs. Okay. Jobs, SSIS packages. Log shipping is one feature, log shipping information, backups information, restores information will be stored in the MSDB. Okay, so all the automation related maintenance plans, jobs maintenance plans, these are all automation only. So all the automation related information will be stored in the MSDB. So I'm giving you an assignment, challenge for everyone. I'll see who is going to win this challenge. What is the full form of MSDB?
Multi-source DBA.
Huh? Multi-source designer.
Multi-source database.
Why like
Microsoft
that?
database.
Why is it? MS Narayana
Micro-
database. Try it, guys.
Multi-source
Try it.
database.
Microsoft database.
Microsoft database, multi-source database. Next. Modern system database. Next. Try it, guys. Try it. What is the full form of MSDB? You can Google it, no issues, and let me know the answer. Okay. That is your assignment for the next class. So, MSDB is mainly responsible for the automation, guys. Jobs related jobs means backup jobs, restore jobs. That automation related stuff will be there, right? That stuff will be stored in the MSDB. SSIS packages also related to jobs only. So that SSIS packages information also will be stored in the MSDB only. It's least priority system database, guys. Out of 4 system database, MSDB is the least priority system database. If MSDB is corrupted, nothing will happen. Your SQL server will be up and running, but jobs and all will be disturbed. That's it. Automation will be disturbed. That's it, guys. Okay. Any questions on MSDB? No questions? Chalo, let's go to TempDB. TempDB, as you know, TempDB is a temporary database. Okay. Very important database after master database. All the data processing, like earlier we have already discussed, all the data processing, I told you, right, during the select query with where condition, I told you, right? So the data will be temporarily stored in one database, okay, while processing the data. Whatever data is there, while applying filters and all, whatever data is there, if you execute this, you can see 101 records, but actually in the table, 505 records are there, but out of 505, you can see only 101. What about remaining 400 records? But actually the records are not disturbed. So it will create a temporary table with 101 records in the TempDB. So from the TempDB, actually you are getting the data. You are not getting the data from original database. When you apply the where condition, don't think you are getting data from your original database. It will copy the data to the TempDB. From there, it will apply the processing and all, whatever changes, whatever conditions you are giving, it will apply all the conditions, and finally it will filter the data and it will create a temporary table. It will copy the filtered data into the temporary table. That temporary table we are seeing now. Okay. So this is your temporary data. So this processing and all will be done in TempDB. So data processing will be done in TempDB. As TempDB is going to store temporary database, we cannot take any type of backups on the TempDB. We can take backups of MasterDB, we can take backups of model, we can take backups of MSDB, but we cannot take backups of TempDB. Okay. And SQL Server will create new TempDB every time when you restart the SQL Server. Automatically it will create a new TempDB database, guys. When you restart the SQL Server, automatically a new TempDB will be created. Let me show you. Right click on the TempDB, go to properties. When it was created, guys, when it was created,
After restart.
Today morning 7:18, I started my SQL server or I started my Windows machine at 7:18. Now let me restart it. How to restart? Right click, restart the SQL server. You will get yes or no pop-up, click yes. Again click yes. Just refresh it, expand it, databases, properties. So now tell me guys, at what time it was created? Clear? Is it clear guys?
Yes, sir.
So whenever you restart the SQL server, the TempDB will be cleaned, it's cleared, okay? And it will create a new TempDB every time when you restart the SQL server. Only this feature is only for TempDB. Other databases won't be created guys. If you see master database, okay, you don't see such kind of options for master. Whenever the Microsoft invented this, so you can see that time, that date and all. You can see 2003 somewhere. Okay. Actually, this is using SQL Server is using 2003 master version, guys. Okay. So for master model and all, you don't see such kind of options, but for TempDB you can see. So how to check when the SQL Server last restarted? Any options we have? How to check when the SQL Server last restarted?
Date created from the TempDB.
If you check the TempDB date created option, you can easily identify when SQL Server last restarted. Without using any queries, we can identify. Just simply check the date creation of the TempDB database, guys. Okay. So now tell me, I'm giving you one hint. I asked you one question earlier. When model is corrupted, can we start the SQL Server or not? Now I'm giving you one hint. New TempDB will be created when you restart the SQL Server. Now tell me, when model is corrupted, can I start my SQL Server or I cannot start my SQL Server? I'm giving you one logic. Two options.
I think we cannot start the SQL Server without model database because it is not providing the template for the TempDB.
Very good. Correct answer. Yes. Okay. So how TempDB will be created, guys? Every time how TempDB knows what is the data file size, what is the log file size, in which location I have to be created. How it knows? Using model database. If model is not accessible, if model is corrupted, how can TempDB can be created? If TempDB cannot be created, how can you start the SQL Server? SQL Server won't start. Is it clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
So now what is the answer, guys? If my model is corrupted, can I start my SQL Server?
No.
No, we
No.
can't.
No.
We cannot start the SQL Server. Why? Because model will provide the details, okay, to the TempDB. When you restart the SQL Server, so TempDB will take the properties of the model database. If model is not accessible, TempDB cannot be created. If there is no TempDB, there is no SQL Server. That is all about your TempDB, guys. We cannot take the TempDB backup, very important, okay, as it is storing temporary tables, temporary data and all, we cannot take it. Right. Finally, one more system database is resource database. This resource database we cannot see in the management studio. We can only see 4 system database. We cannot see resource database. But where I can see the resource database, guys, you can see the resource database files, okay, using one query, new query, select star from sys.sysols files. I'm sorry, guys. This is one query, select query. Using this query, you can see all the database data files and log files. If you see here, master database data file log file, temp DB data file log file, model DB data file log file, MSDB data file log file, Flipkart data file, second data file log file, Amazon data file log file, batch 49 data file log file. If you go down, see, expand this column. If you see here, MS SQL system resource dot MDF, which is MDF file, MS SQL system resource dot LDF, which is log file. You cannot see resource database like this name. You can simply see data file log file. But for which database it is? For other database you can see database name, but for this database you cannot see database name. It won't show you. Okay, why? Because for the security purpose and all, generally resource database will be hidden, guys. Resource database is a hidden database. You can still find the paths of the resource database. Copy this path, open, run, Control V, delete the last item and hit enter. There you can see your system, resource database data files and log files. See here, this is your resource database data file. How to identify which one is data file, which one is log file, guys? Out of these two files, which one is data, which one is log? How to identify? Just by looking the names, how to identify?
Can we look at this size also, KB?
No.
The icon is
Is there any?
showing
I have a
note
quick question
and
for all of you.
tables.
I have a
I-
quick question for all of you. Is there any chance that your log file is bigger than your data file?
Yeah, sometimes it can be, but the icon itself is showing database is table and log notepad like log file.
Very good. Okay. So data file generally will store the data permanently, right? So table you can see on the icon. Log file will store the table, will store the data temporarily, right? So you can see notepad, a rough notes kind of thing. Using these two icons, you can differentiate which one is data file and which one is log file. Okay, but don't think like if the size is big, that is data file, if the size is small, that is log file. No, there is a chance if huge transactions are there, your log file is bigger than your data file, guys. Okay. Resource database, what resource database will do? Generally, master and resource is like wife and husband. Is like a wife and husband, guys. Whatever data it is storing, you are storing in the master, the data will be stored logically, whereas the same data will be stored physically. Resource database is also responsible for updates. Your bill number is there, right? Your bill number. Where is the bill number? 10.16.0.1000.6. This bill number information will be stored in the resource database only. When you are applying patches to the SQL server, you are actually upgrading the resource database, guys. When you are applying any updates on the SQL server, you are actually upgrading the version of the SQL resource database. We are actually upgrading the version of the resource database. That's how the build number will be changed. So resource database is responsible for the updates. If you are patching and all, the version will be changed. Which version is changing actually? Resource database version is changing. That's why you can see the latest version in the Object Explorer, guys. So resource is very crucial database, is very important database like master. So that's why it is a hidden database. Resource is a hidden database. Why? Because it's a very critical database among the 5 system database. After master, resource is also one important critical system database, guys. So that's why we cannot access resource database and we cannot see resource database in the management studio. Okay. That is all about your system databases, guys. In the next class, I'll tell you system database IDs. When you start the SQL server, which system database will come online first, which system database will come online last. These things will be discussed and the other topics we are going to cover. Okay, whatever topics are there, mostly we'll cover patchings of SQL server. So we'll cover patchings in the next weekend, guys. And again, there is an update that there is no classes on the coming weekend. So I'll be out of town for the whole weekend. Okay, so I don't take any classes for 29th and 30th. Again, we'll meet on 6th of May. Okay. Chalo guys, any questions, any doubts?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yeah, you said husband and wife. So which one? Master is wife there?
Your wish. Master is generally husband and resource is like a wife. Any other questions, guys?
Yeah, Sharma,
Tell
if
me.
you
Sorry.
if you want to change in model database template, so should we have the sysadmin permission for that?
Yes, we should.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Tell me about TempDB issues.
Not now. Later we'll cover.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, one more question here.
Yes.
There's doubt. In any class, are we learning about security login, creating
Of
account?
course.
Very like sometimes we have a request where we just have to give access to a particular thing only. So
Yes,
how can we do that?
Yes, we can. We have a separate class in the security we'll discuss. I'll show you how to give access on server, how to give access on database level, how to give access on a specific table level. Everything I'll show you. And someone asked TempDB issues. This will be covered in the performance tuning classes. Okay. Any other questions, guys? Chalo, no questions. Then that's it from my side. And MSDB stands for magnetically stabilized fluid bed. What is that bed, Srikanth? Huh? Bed. Very good. Okay, that's it, guys. That's it, and thank you all. Okay, we'll meet again on.
Sorry to stop you.
No problem. Tell me.
Form of MSDB.
MSDB, full form of MS. No, I don't tell you. Why I'll give you assignment, guys, if I am telling you what efforts you are putting. You have to check and let me know the answer. There is a challenge. You will take the challenge, right? As a DBA, you have to take the challenges. Okay, check and let me know the answer by next class.
I got something, but is this correct or not? Please.
What is that, bed or what?
No, not better. I thought this will be an abbreviation for Management Studio, Service Broker, and Database Mail.
Service broker, management studio, everything. No, wrong answer.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Okay, just check and let me know the answer. If anyone got the answer, just ping me in the WhatsApp also. That's it from my side. Thank you all. Good night, good day, guys. Okay, bye. We'll connect again on Monday. Not Monday, sorry. 6th May. Okay, thank you.
Should I write the answer to you?
Yeah, you can.
Everyone or just to you?
No, you can write to everyone also if you found the answer.
Yeah, I found material safety data sheet.
Material safety data, no.
That is for the
Is it related to AutoCAD or what?
no. Is going for our mails and backup database backup structure.
No, wrong answer.
Okay, then, no problem.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Okay. Thank you all. Bye. Good night.
Like,
I'm in class, baby.